Hi creative friends, this is Sreya and thank you so much for being here. So today I'm going to be working in my brown paper cheap lined composition notebook, and somebody just left me a comment that said that they are having trouble finding it. And honestly, you guys, this is available all over Europe, and I probably spent under €3 for it. And it is very good quality paper. They come in various sizes, and I have a few of these notebooks, and I had no idea that it would be so difficult to find. But the person who left the comment, they are absolutely correct, because I got online and it's like super hard to find them. You can find a cheap lined composition notebook with a Kraft cover, but in terms of finding one with all of the pages that are brown, it's very difficult. So I did find I found three different sources. One was on Amazon, and it was a lined composition notebook with all the pages being brown paper, but it was quite pricey for a brown paper notebook. It was like $21, which is way too much. And then the second one I came across was also on Amazon, and it was like a really cute vintage type of travel notebook. And some of the pages were lined brown paper, but then there were other pages as well. Like some of them were brown paper, but they weren't lined, and some of them were just other kind of really interesting paper, and that was like about $6. And actually it looked really interesting, so I might purchase that for myself and just kind of like experiment in it. And I did come across a shop on Etsy. It's called MoMo Journaling, and they had a brown paper notebook that came in various sizes, and the prices started at $6, but they were not lined. So I'm going to keep on looking, but I will leave those three like sourced notebooks with the links on them. And I mean, I'm really sorry when when I made the first video using these books, I very casually said, these are really cheap lined notebooks in brown paper and you can find them anywhere. And the truth is, in Europe, everywhere I've traveled, I have found these with no problem. They are accessible. They're easy to find. They're very reasonably priced. And this one here, now the cover did come out, but this one here I got from a store that's called Flying Tiger. It originates out of Denmark, but it is made in China. And you can find them like all over Europe. It's not just a stationery store. They sell all sorts of little knickknacks and just various items. So anyways, I'm sorry about that long song and dance, but when I use something, I try to make it so that it is accessible to everybody, or to most people, and I had assumed that this was. Now another thing is, like around school time, like right before school, like all the stores, the big box stores, they have back to school sales. So maybe then there might be a wider variety of notebooks. I'm not sure, but I will keep on looking, and if I come up with anything, I will let you guys know. So what I'm going to do with this spread over here is I'm going to work on it, but I'm going to use my collage, so my handmade collage. And I was just playing around with some pieces before I started the video, and I'm really loving that. And already I see like a head. So I'm really loving this piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to stick it on right now. I'm just going to hold it and try to see like where I can position my figure. And I think I might want to go like right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like put it together like a puzzle piece and like see where I want things to go. liking this piece over here. And I have the other piece of it, which I don't know if I want to use that. I might not. I might want to keep just that one piece so it looks like it really draws the attention. I don't know yet. And let me see here. So I just did a spread where I was working in Connie's Painting the Feminine book, and I made a figure using her patterns with a lady kind of like in a cloak. So it's kind of fresh on my mind, and I want to kind of replicate that in some way. And that's a great thing about working like in a book like I did with Connie's, is that you can now go, oh, you know what? I just did that. I just saw Connie using purple and orange. I just saw, you know, this pattern. I just saw this color combination, and now you can replicate that in your own way. So I think I like that figure there. And now I need to do something with this in-between space here because it's looking too, like, it doesn't look right. So I think, now what I'm going to do here is, because I positioned that like so, and what I'm going to do is I am going to tear that out so it fits like that. And then I think I'm going to use this piece somewhere else on the spread, but I'll just leave it over there for now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna maybe, I'm trying to see here, I think I'm gonna do a figure that spans both the pages, or maybe I'm gonna make them like more on this side, on one side more, and that's gonna give it a little bit of tension maybe. And so you guys, I just, while I'm doing this, I just wanted to tell you a little story that when I went to my art retreat with Connie Solera in Oaxaca, and the first night we were all sitting around a table, and you know, like we were introducing ourselves, and Connie was asking us, like, you know, what did we hope to get from the retreat, etc., etc. And one of the things I said was, when it came to my turn, is I said, you know, I want to stop drawing these ladies because I want to do other things. Like, it was almost like a compulsion where I just was like, why do I keep on drawing these ladies? I don't know. I do, you know, I know how to paint other stuff. I love painting other stuff. I actually love doing still lifes and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I was just like, I don't know why I keep on painting these ladies. Like, they just show up. Like, it's like a compulsion, and it really eases me. Like, it makes me feel like at ease and satisfied, and it just comes from my soul. Like, it's a feeling, like, I don't know, like, you know, if you were a writer perhaps, and you write a really amazing line or paragraph or whatever, you just get this deep sense of like soul soothing, or like I can breathe, like I can rest in this space. Like, it just feels like home, you know? So anyways, I'll try not to ramble on too much here, but I was like, why do I keep on painting this, you know, this lady? And one of the things that came out of the retreat was that, you know, when Connie talked about love what you love, etc., etc., but she said, you know, she goes, that she paints pretty much the same ladies all the time, and they are ladies in a kind of like a cloaked kind of a figure with robes, I should say. And she goes, it's totally okay. Like, because each time you're doing it in your own way. It's each time it is different. Like, it's not the same. So, after I left that retreat, I wasn't so, I guess, like, fighting against it. And I kind of accepted, like, oh, okay, it's okay that this lady wants to show up. I don't know why she wants to show up, but obviously she does. So, we're just going to go with it. Anyways, so if there's anyone out there struggling with these types of issues, I hope that, maybe it's helpful. And, the love what you love, that is just truly so much wisdom in that statement. Love what you love. Like, don't fight against it. If it's, if you love drawing really, highly technical drawings, and, you take a class and everybody's like, loosen up. Or if you like using neutrals and everybody's like, oh, well, why do you always use neutrals, blah, 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 I would just say, like, don't pay attention to them. And Elizabeth Gilbert talks about this in Big Magic, which is a great book, by the way. And one of the things she says in the book, which is really funny, she says, that's fine if you don't like my art, but don't tell me how to do it. Like, she goes, go make your own fucking art. That's exactly what she said. And it was so funny because I just, like, I remember that and I just cracked up because she's like, you don't have to like my work. Like, nobody's saying you have to like my work, but hands off. Like, don't tell me how to do my work. And I really resonated with that. Because, when I first started doing faceless ladies and etc., I had to overcome some cultural inhibitions with that, that really were, like, just really deep held beliefs that kind of came from my childhood. And it's really interesting once we start to unravel these things to go, like, where did I even pick this up? Like, this is so bizarre. But anyways, so after that, I just kind of gave into it and I was like, oh, okay, just love what you love. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to, let me see here. Where's my pencil? Okay, here it is. So this figure is looking a bit wonky, but I'm going to go with the wonkiness here. And I'm going to see what I can keep and what I can neutralize. And right off the bat, I think I am going to neutralize this part here. So I'm not sure if this was the right decision here, but I'm just going to leave that alone for right now. When everything is too busy and when everything's too, when there's too much stuff going on, I need to kind of neutralize some of the stuff. And it's kind of like, you know, if everybody's a star, then nobody's a star. It's that kind of vibe, because, you know, everybody cannot be the star. Some parts of the painting have to be supporting. They have to play supporting roles. That's the way I look at it anyways. And I think I'm gonna go with a blue for this over here. I'm just gonna push some of this back a bit because, like I said, there's just too much going on here. So I am going to and I think I want to put blue hair here. She's feeling kind of like a blue-haired lady, and it's gonna pick up on the blue here and move my eye around. And I didn't stick this down. I will, but I haven't stuck that down right now. I'm just gonna wait. I need to figure out, like, what am I gonna do with the background? And I think right off the bat, I'm gonna make a horizon line over here. So I think I'm just gonna kind of go like so. And I'm just gonna go like that and like that. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to neutralize the background. And I know this is gonna be kind of wild, but I think I'm gonna go with black. It's actually my chalk paint and ink. And I'm just gonna I hate covering up all these beautiful parts. I really do, you guys. I really do. When I cover up a lot of parts of my background, or, you know, it could be the foreground, but, you know, pretty parts of little bits and bobs of prettiness, I get comments like, oh, I wish you hadn't covered it up. And trust me, you guys, I feel your pain. I really do. I don't like covering up like pretty parts, you know, but I just try to keep in mind that detachment, and you just have to sacrifice parts of the painting for the whole, because you can't keep all of the pieces. There might be some artists who can do that. Like, I think Connie can do that. I've seen like her work where she's got like everything is really busy, the foreground and the background, but I am not able to do that. First of all, it would kind of scramble up my brain, honestly. Like I would just, like, I wouldn't be able to differentiate, you know, what's the figure, what's the background, and it would like really just send me into a spiral. And I'd like not be able to function. My brain would fizzle out, so that would not be good. But do you see how it really just pushed everything back? And I don't know what's gonna happen with this piece here, but I'm just gonna leave it for right now. And I think what I'm gonna do is just allow this all to completely dry. But I gotta say, I'm really loving a lot of what is going on here. And I'm just gonna leave things as is. I might add one more coat of the blue here. And I am gonna let that dry. So if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. And I will be doing a part 2 on this. Once this completely dries, I'll just kind of dive right in and pick up where I left off. So if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.